Hey, how y'all doing out there in YouTube land? This is Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. And tonight, I want to do a video. This is going to be the first part of 4. The first part is going to consist of, these are knives that are in my collection that I would recommend to soldiers and to those in uniform, or to those who want a good self-defense folder, a tactical self-defense folder. And what I mean by tactical, I mean knives that have the glare factor removed from them by being all blacked out, or having OD green, or dark earth, or some dark colors, and they made it be non-glare knives, so that they don't give away your position if you're, let's say, in a combat unit, an infantry unit, and you're out in the field, out in the open, and or you're trying to hide or whatever, and from the enemy or whatever. Maybe you're setting up an ambush or whatever, and you want to give away your positions. You don't want to have something that's going to be flashy. You want something that's going to be not have a glare to it when the sun hits it, and gives away your position. So these are all knives that I would recommend for soldiers, or pretty much like a Benchmade black class, where it's made for soldiers and law enforcement and emergency personnel that need a really strong folder that they can depend on. And the reason why I'm making this video is because of Ukraine. So anybody that might be going into action or whatever, or anything like that, or wants to get themselves ready for whatever may happen or whatever, these are the pocket knives I would recommend for you that are in my collection. Now the first part video is going to be miscellaneous brands of pocket knives I have in my collection I would recommend. The second part is going to be my cold steels, because I have lots of cold steels I would recommend. And those are some of my personal favorites. Most of these, though, I believe you can still purchase. Whereas a lot of my cold steels you can't purchase anymore, because they're no longer made. The ones I like the best, anyway. And so let's get down to it. Starting off, let's start off with these, the Hog X5s. I absolutely love the Hog X5. Why? I think it's good for a soldier because it's simple. There's no bushings. I mean, there's no bushings, washers, or bearings or anything to worry about. If you have to pull maintenance on it, it's real simple. There's not that many parts, and it's just a good knife. It's just a good heavy-duty knife, and there's really nothing to get messed up in it. They last a long time. And when I talked about my 80 20.5s, you all know I got 10 of them. And I said that was the most knives I got of any one model. Well, actually, I have 8 Hog X5s. These ones right here I've never used. These are my more or less collectors. I got them as my apocalypse knives. Most of these knives I show you are knives that I buy for myself for in case the blank hits the fan. All right. So let me see the ones that I always carry, or I have carried a lot. This one's still in my drawer that I still carry. This is my Harley Davidson one. And it's got the number 1 on it, Harley Davidson number 1 on the blade. This one's got some wear on it because I've carried a lot. I like to carry it when I'm on my bike all the time. Why? Because it's a Harley knife, and it's made in USA. All Hogs are made in USA. This one's got the Harley Davidson orange Damascus. Harley Davidson's racing colors is orange. Orange and black. Screaming Eagle colors. But anyway, that's that. This is the first one I bought. This is one that made me get all the other ones I got. Absolutely love it. And this is the first one I bought with the other, but I forget what they call this blade. But I think it looks cool. It's like a crazy looking sheep's foot. It's a sheep foot that's got rabies. Watch out for this sheep. It's got rabies. All right. Absolutely love it. But that's why I would recommend that one. I'm not just saying it because I've never carried them or whatever. All these knives that are on this table that I've carried, I will tell you that I've carried the, you know, maybe not these versions, but other versions of them that I have in my collection that I bought to actually use all the time. But that's these. You have a CPM 154 stainless steel blade on them. Now you can see why I have 8, because I got everything in pairs. Wait a minute, I actually got 9. 9 because I got 2 of the Harley Davidson spear points. I got another set of Harley Davidson knives like this, plus that one. That one I bought to carry. The other 2 I bought to collect. I've never even opened the boxes. I absolutely love these knives. These knives are pretty, very, very cool. Pretty badass. Alan Erschwitz design. Next up, the Doug Ritter. It's a 20 CV blade. I can't remember what the coating is. I want to say it's like a PVD or something. I'm not sure. It might be DLC. I'm not sure. I don't think it's just, it might be Cerakote too, who knows. But these have the Able lock. Oh, these are plunge locks. These are plunge locks. And you won't see it, let me go back to these real quick. But you won't see a whole bunch of plunge locks on this table because I really, of the plunge locks, I trust these. The Hog plunge locks because they really cover the blade tang. And also with the X5, you got a big finger groove. So even if the plunge lock was to come undone, the blade doesn't fold in on your hand. It can't fold in on your hand if you're holding it properly. So that's the reason why I highly recommend these. I think they're a safe knife. They'd be a safe fighting knife or a combat folder. That's what I believe. Anyway, on to the Hog Ritter. This is the Doug Ritter. He's a major advocate for knife rights. I support what he does. I join every year for the knife rights. Hey, Choo-Choo. Jenna's joining us. She's over here on my lap. Saying hello. Making her entrance. That's my girl. Alright, let me get back to making a video, sweetie. Doug Ritter. I think a portion of these, when you buy these, goes to knife rights. Fighting for knife rights. And if you're out there, if you're a knife lover, I suggest that you check into that and you support it. My last membership, they gave me a free Terminus, SOG Terminus. All right. This is an exemplar. This is a 154 cm blade, I think. Let me get the magnifying glass. Yep, 154 cm. All right. Oh, it has a polymer handle. I'm not sure what the coating is. I want to say it's probably like a PVD or Cerakote. And this one's made for Heckler & Koch. And this one is the K320 6 hour. Polymer handles also. And this one has Is that S30V? Yep, CPM S30V blade. Polymer handles, and like the exemplar, they both of them you can mount your pocket clip wherever you want to. Another great knife for a soldier, nice and lightweight, very strong. And all these have the these three have the able lock, just like this one, the Deca. This one I've carried a lot. This one and the Doug Ritter, these two knives I actually have carried a lot. This one I like to carry to work. But now it's gotten replaced though. It's gotten replaced by the, you know, my 80-20, you know that. Y'all know that. That has a 20 CV blade with a G10 handles. Very thin blade, very slicey. I think they call that a sheep's foot. I want to say it's a sheep's foot or modified Warncliffe or something. I don't know. I like it. I like the sheep's foot and Warncliffe style blades. I don't know if you noticed that or not. I have lots of knives that are like that. I just think they look cool. I don't know if they're better than anything else or whatever. I just like them. I like that sinister look, and it just attracts me. So it makes me want to get one. All right, next up, SOG Seal. SOG Seal. This rides on bearings. This is the smoothest, heaviest duty knife that I own. That's a folder. And yes, I do have I have all the 4Maxes, well, except for the S35 VN 4Max that's made in Taiwan. I don't have that one. I do have the American 4Max, Italian 4Max, then all the Scouts, but I don't have. That's the only one I don't have. And what else? All the Adamases. I have all the Contigos, all the deadbolts. I don't know. Yeah. This knife right here is for all the heavy duty, knives in those categories. Is the smoothest. There's nothing smoother than this one. This one's super smooth. This knife is fidgety like a small knife. It is super smooth, and it just inspires strength too. That it feels super strong. Even if this lock was to come undone because of the way that this flipper's made, and the way that it's shaped, it's like the X5, the Hog X5. It can't come in on your hand. It's even got jimping on it, so it won't come in on your hand. I absolutely love this knife. This was made for soldiers. It's super heavy though. It's like 10.2 ounces or something. And so that's the reason why I never carry it. And I only got one because I knew I wasn't going to carry it. Because it was just too heavy. But I do love and I do respect the way it's made. It's got a skull crusher. It's just a super heavy duty knife. It wouldn't be my choice in a sandy area or dirty or dusty or dirty area because of the bearings. And also because of the axis lock, or not the axis lock, but the XR lock. If I'm in a place that's not dusty or dirty or something like that, then bearing knives would be fine to me. The same thing with crossbar locks; they would be fine to me then. If I've if I'm like on a on a base or stationed on a base or something somewhere. If you're out in the field though, I wouldn't want a knife with a crossbar lock or a bearing lock or ball bearings or whatever. I'd rather have bronze phosphor washers and a simpler lock. We'll talk about that when we get to the next video. But anyway, next up, the SOG Kiku. I absolutely love the SOG Kiku. This one has glass reinforced nylon handles. This one is micarta. It's black micarta. I don't know if it's linen or canvas, but I do know it's micarta. It's got a CTS-XHP blade, 3 inches long. This one's a tank for a 3-incher, and the grip feels so good with this one. The grip is just like perfect. I love the Kiku. I got, I don't know, what, I think 3 Kikus. I got two of the steel ones and one of the carbon fiber. And this is the first one I bought, and it's the one I like the best. I don't know why I always do that. I always try to see if there's going to be something I like better in the same model. And I usually always end up liking the first one I got. And the first one I got is usually the only one I carry, and the other ones never get carried. I do that all the time. But this one I still carry. I still carry this one. And this was I think it was a last year knife, or the year before. I can't remember. But anyway, next up is another one of my favorite SOGs, Studies and Observation Group. Absolutely love this one. This one was the first one that I bought. This is my first SOG, I think, that I bought. Because this was the reason why I got turned on to all the other ones, because SOG before the XR lock knives, I just wasn't attracted to them. I don't know, because they were kind of, can I say it, janky? You know, they just weren't my style. I like knives that are, for real. I don't like junk. And this one is the first one I bought, and it made me realize that in Studies and Observation Group, they're coming up. They're making nice knives now. I like the way that the tip is sharpened on this one. For a small knife, it's a great self-defense folder, I believe. I've never had to use it for self-defense, but I wouldn't hesitate to use it because I think it would be a great tool for that. The handle fits my hand perfectly. I even got the impact part of the handle I could use as the impact side of the handle. This feels good in all grips because it's got a very neutral handle, so it's like good in all grips. And it's lightning fast, and it's super fun to fidget with. I love it. CTS-XHP blade. This one came straight from SOG. They sent it to me. It was a replacement for a knife that I sent in that had an issue. Put my name on it. My YouTube name. Absolutely love it. Highly recommend the Pentagon. The Pentagon is awesome. The first one I had, it was hitting the backspacer. The blade would hit the backspacer, and this was the replacement. Actually, they sent me 2. And both of them are perfect. Both of them are perfect. This is a SOG Vision. It's pretty much got all the same features as the Pentagon. Has G10 handle scale. These are as embedded full stainless steel liners are inside the G10. And it's got the XR lock, CTS-XHP blade, flat ground. Basically all the same features. This one's a little bit thicker blade stock though. It's a Tonto grind, American style Tonto grind. Absolutely love it. These are super fidgety. Super fidgety. Super fidgety. And a great tool, great knife. I've never had any of the springs go out in any of my SOGs. And this one I have carried the mess out of. Oh, and this one too. All 3, actually this one too. The Flash, I've carried that one too a lot. Very good knives. Next up, this is my favorite assistant knife. And I'm not an assistant knife person, but this one is like to me, it's a legal switchblade. It's a California legal switchblade because in California, assistant knives are totally legal as long as you have to push a thumb stud or a flipper. Look at this one. You touch the thumb stud, bam! I did it like that to show you how easy it is to engage. I get a kick out of it every time I use this knife. Look at that. These things are fast too. These are SOG Assistant knives. And this is using the XR lock. This is a crossbar lock. Same lock that they're using on the Seal, the Kiku, the Pentagon, and the Vision. This is the Flash. And this is the least expensive one of all of them. And the blade is extremely useful. I've taken this one to work. But I don't like to take it to work anymore because it's just too loud. Makes a lot of noise. I don't want to, you know, like stop it from doing what it's doing because I don't want to mess with the spring. But this is an awesome knife. I mean, if you want something that's close to an auto without being an auto, this is it. Very cool knife. Has a D2 blade. This is a D2 blade, and I think it's a PVD coating. Or it might be that, no, it's probably the titanium nitrate. I think that's what SOG has. Titanium nitrate. Very cool. The handle is a glass reinforced nylon handle. It has full stainless steel liners. This is a nice knife. And it has a safety too. So like when it's closed, you can put the safety on so it won't go off in your pocket. And as easy as this one goes off, I would say use the safety. Use the safety. Safety is really hard to do without using your thumb. There you go. Maybe it just has to be broken a little bit. Okay. And when the safety's engaged, you can't open it. Disengage it. Bam! I love this knife. This is like my, out of all the assistant knives I've ever owned, this is the coolest one. That's the coolest one. Most definitely, by far. I have another one that's really cool that I'm going to show you over here, but this is the fastest one. That one, I mean, excuse my French, that one flies. Now, frame locks. Frame locks for combat knives, I feel, you know, have their place. Because a frame lock is a knife too, especially if you made it with bushings instead of bearings. It could be a very durable knife as far as, like, you know, being able to withstand being in dirty places and dirty environments where, you know, you're going to get grit and grime and mud and stuff on it. And you could just wash it off and, you know, be fairly clean again. You know, so, you know, I can see a place for a frame lock. Frame locks just aren't my favorite because I worry about the frame lock becoming disengaged. You know, that's a problem that one of the only knives that's ever cut me up from the lock failing was a liner lock. And so I really am not a liner lock fan. Even though I do still buy a few liner locks here and there, I'm not a liner lock fan. I very rarely carry them, except unless it's a Ti-Lite. I like the Ti-Lite 6. I've always carried those because I like stilettos. And to me, that's the strongest and best stiletto. But this one is made by, it was designed by Miletta Michelle, something like that, in Maniago, Italy. It's a line steel, SR11A. A stands for aluminum. They also make these in titanium. This version, as you see it right here, it's just a little bit over $200. The titanium would be a little bit over $300. It has very thick blade stock. It's over 4 millimeters. It's like 4.3 or something millimeter thick. And it's crowned. It's very well made. It's an integral frame, 6061 aluminum integral frame lock. And it has its own locking system that locks the frame lock bar into position behind the blade tang. And it's solid. It's solid. I really like this knife. Made in Italy. Lion steel. SR11A. I really like this one. It's got Sleipner steel, which is like an upgrade version of D2. And I love this. I love the way the flipper engulfs my finger. This knife feels. This is like the safest frame lock knife that I own. Out of all the frame locks I've tried, I think this one feels the safest in my hand. This one gives me the most confidence. This is the reason why this is out here, and I'm recommending it for soldiers. That's a carbon steel blade, semi-stainless Sleipner steel blade, which is like a real nice, it's supposed to be a really good version of D2. Upgraded D2. It's supposed to be tougher and have the better edge resistance. It doesn't chip. But look at the way this engulfs your finger in the finger groove area. Even if this was becoming disengaged, like the X5, excuse me, like the X5 I showed you, it's not gonna fold in on your hand. That's why I think flippers, knives with flippers. I don't know why people always say they don't like having the flipper tab. The flipper tab is what protects your finger if the lock ever gives out. Because most knives with flippers don't have the super strong locks. So I think it's important to have a nice flipper tab that protects your finger. I think that's what this is. I think this knife was made for emergency rescue people and soldiers. It has a glass breaker. You know what I mean? This is a very well made knife. I think it's totally worth $200. You can't get a knife like this cheap. The way that the blade is all crowned. So that's a premium steel. It's a beautiful knife. This one I got for this year. I also have one that I bought last year. I was going to get a red one, but I decided just to get another black one. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Next up. Let's not spend too much time on this one. Let's start moving faster, huh? This Spyderco Manix 2XL. I absolutely love this one too. I have a couple of these. This is the one I use. The other one I collected. The other one's brand new. Never used it. Well, it's not. I've had it for a couple of years now, but it's never been used. That's why I'm calling it brand new. Because I bought them at the same time. Absolutely love this one. S30V blade, made in Golden, Colorado, USA. This one has a modified flight titanium ball cage. I got rid of the plastic ball cage. I didn't get rid of it. It's in the box that this knife came in. Absolutely love these though. Excellent knives. This is the ball bearing lock. I highly recommend this one. That's the Spyderco that I would recommend. That's in my collection. And I don't have a whole lot of Spydercos, so just because you only see one up there doesn't really mean that I dislike Spydercos. It's just I don't have a lot of Spydercos. All the Spydercos I have, the only ones I have that are blacked out are my two Manix XLs. The other ones, the Chinooks and with the power locks. I have 2 of those. And what else do I have? Oh, I have the amalgam and the sliver axe. And the other compression lock one that I always forget the name. The Tropin. But none of those are blacked out. Anyway, let's move on. What was this one called? This Benchmade Flick. I forget what the name of this one is. I'm sorry, people. I forget. I have to write down the name later. This is a small Benchmade. Black class Benchmade. This one with the thinnest blade. Fact. I think it's called the Fact. It's got the axis lock. This one I've never carried because after I got it, the blade, how thin the blade stock was, and it's got like a little bit of flex. So I don't know. The handle on it's really nice though. The handle's super strong. The handle's made out of aluminum, I believe. It's like a 6061 aluminum with looks like stainless steel liners, full stainless steel liners. But the blade stock is like a 2.75 millimeter or something like that. It's really thin. I mean, it'd be great as a letter opener or, you know, for using for light duty things, but I can't picture this being used for anything heavy duty. I know people would say, well, you know, it's supposed to be a stiletto for stabbing and stuff, but even for stabbing, I would like to have a thicker blade because if you hit bone or something, this blade might break. I don't know. I would just prefer to have a thicker blade for, you know, for combat folder. But, you know, if that's what I'm using it as a combat folder. But like this one has a thin blade stock too. But I don't think of this one as like a combat folder. I think more of it as like a utility knife. And so therefore I can see a lot of purpose for it. But for the Fact, the reason why I never carried it is because I don't see a whole lot of utility for it. Other than being like a letter opener. It's like, you know, make a great letter opener. Nice tactical letter opener. Okay, next one. This is one of my favorite knives of all time, the 391 BK. And this one I've carried the mess out of. I probably carry it more than any other knife on this table. Yep, I have. This one I carried for like 6 months straight. Broke both springs on both sides and replaced both springs. It's an awesome knife. Absolutely love it. Even when the spring breaks, the knife still functions because you don't break both springs at the same time. You break one at a time. And the knife will still function with one spring. And so like if you're a soldier and you're going on a mission or whatever, when you get done with your duty, that's when you pull maintenance on your stuff. Yeah, this will work just fine. I mean, that's what these are made for. These are made for soldiers. These are black class. They're made for the soldiers. Absolutely love it. It's got a D2 blade. The what do you call it? The handle material is a carbon fiber something mixed with like glass filled nylon. I forget what they call it. They have a special name for it. I'll find out what it was. Here we go. One of my all-time favorites, G10 with an M4 blade. Cerakoted. Dual ground. This one I've resharpened several times. I've carried this one a lot. I love the Benchmade Contigos. This is one of my favorites. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of what the handle material is. It bugs me when I can't remember stuff. Especially on a knife that I use all the time. Is that what happens when you get older? You can't remember everything all the time? I don't know. Whatever. Yada, yada, yada. But this is one of my favorites. If I was going to pick a heavy duty folder with an axis lock or a crossbar lock, this would be the one I'd pick to go to the field with. Absolutely love the Contigos. I got 4 of them. Whenever you see me buy a whole bunch of one kind of knife, it means I really like it. The Contigo is one of my favorites. Not everybody likes the Contigos though, but I got like 4 of these and like 4 of these, 2 of these, 8 of these. And what else do I have a lot of? I have 2 of these, 3 of these. Well, all my Adamas you can see right here. And I have 3 Clever Girls. And 4 seismics. And then I got 4 seismics. I like the seismic too. I got the seismic first, I think, before the Clever Girls. And that's about it where I got a whole bunch of them of. I got 2 of these too. 2 of these. Because I really like that one too. Okay, where are we at? The mini Adamas. Now, something about the Adamas, so, I just want to let everybody know. I don't know because I'm not going to abuse this knife, so I'm not going to find out if it'll fail. But I have seen the videos where the Adamases are failing, the crossbar lock is failing. When somebody does something like baton with it or something like that, or it hits the back side of it really hard. And I have seen them, several videos where people have made these things fail. It looks like they fail fairly easily. So I'm gonna pull these out of my drawer until I find. I'm gonna get a hold of Benchmade and find out for myself if they know about this issue, if it actually is an issue. And if it is an issue, I want to find out if they're taking care of it. Because I have a funny feeling that the issue may be that the blade tang may not be ground right. The part where the crossbar or the axis bar rests on the blade tang, when it's in its locked position, I have a funny feeling that was ground at the wrong angle. And that's the reason why it might be sliding off. But I've hit mine. And mine don't fail, but I haven't hit them like super hard, like abusively or whatever. But I did try out that, what I saw people doing on the video, and mine don't do that. But mine are brand new. So I don't know if it was like the original ones that had that issue, and maybe Benchmade's corrected that issue since then. Because these have been out for a while now. And these are brand new ones. So I don't know if it was like the first run or something like that. They might have had an issue, and they might have corrected it. But I love these knives. These are these new crewwear Benchmade Adamases. And let me tell you something. This is the original Benchmade Adamas with the D2. I don't like this one. This is one of those knives that a long time ago I tried out at a gun show. I held it or whatever, and I knew right then I didn't like it because it was too big and blocky. It didn't feel comfortable in my hand. I like the blockiness of it. It's just like a brick. That's what it sort of feels like. It's not contoured to a hand or anything. It's just like flat slabs. And it's really wide, and I don't know. It just wasn't me. Even though I know this is a super strong, super heavy duty knife, has a really good reputation for being almost indestructible, and so I know it's an awesome knife. But if you look at it, you can see why though, because it's super heavy duty. The way they built this frame, I think I've talked to you guys about that before. It's like you can make any knife, really strong, super heavy duty, especially if it's like a knife that depends on a strong frame. If you just make the frame really super heavy duty, that's why it weighs so much. Sort of like the SOG Seal. But this one feels good in your hand. It's not too heavy. I mean, it's a nice weight. It's like 6.5 ounces or something like that. A little bit over 6 ounces. This one feels good in the hand. So, and the blade steel is awesome. Crew wear, oh man, that's awesome. So I hope this is an issue that Benchmade can sort out. And I'm not, like I said, I'm gonna call them and find out. It's fine. I want to find out if it's even my model, the new models. You know, the new ones that they've been making for this year and selling. The newest batches. I wonder if the newest batches have the same issue. This knife is awesome. I absolutely love it. And because of this one, I didn't like Adama's. And so, for a long time, I never even thought about getting Adama's. But one of the viewers challenged me, and I went and checked out. I think it was, which one did I get first? I can't remember if I got this one or this one first. I got one of these first, and I just fell in love with it automatically because I like the way it feels in my hand. It's the right size. It carries well in the pocket. I really like it. I really, really, really like it. And I just hope that it doesn't have a lock issue. And if it does have a lock issue, I hope it's something that Benchmade has solved. Anyway, that's that. And the mini Adama crew wear. I love both of these knives. Both of them fit my hand nicely. It's sort of like the 80-20.5 and the 80-20S. Both of those fit my hand nicely too. Even though one's bigger than the other, the grips, still both of them feel comfortable. This is an awesome knife. Awesome knife. I just hope the lock's okay on it. If it's not okay, then I hope it's something that Benchmade's repairing. This is a large size. Absolutely love it. Crew wear. Both of these are crew wear. Absolutely love it. And then the D2. The tank. Dum da dum dum. Hey hey hey. All right, the tank. D2 weighs a ton. Okay, next up. Oh, wait a minute. Did we do the auto? I don't think we did the auto, huh? It's the Hogado. It's the EXA01, I think it is. And it's got 154 cm blade, I believe. L-Schwitz design. It's got aluminum handle scales. Plunge lock. Oh, plunge lock. Absolutely love it. Another great knife. I think that one's supposed to be over here. It was in the wrong place. Alright, what we got next? Let's go with the seismic. The seismic. Absolutely love these. This is a Flavio Kuma design. It's got the VEF serrations. The 411 German 41116 corrupt stainless steel. Deadbolt G10 handle scales. Thick stainless steel liners. Flavio Kuma. It's got the Flavio Kuma bearing system. His deadbolt, and this whole knife is his design. The seismic. Absolutely love it. Deadbolt rocks. Let me see something. Here's another Flavio Kuma design knife. I don't know if they make this one all blacked out. But this one I really like the way the handle feels. To me, it's one of the most comfortable ones. And it's called the Lynch Pin. It's a little bit smaller than a seismic, just a touch. But it's very good for everyday tasks, utility tasks. It's a very comfortable knife. But instead of having G10, you have the glass reinforced nylon with thick stainless steel liners, deadbolt, and the 4116 blade. I'm looking to see if I see the markings on it, tell you what kind of type of steel it is. I'm pretty sure it's the 4116. German corrupt stainless steel. Awesome knife though. Alright. Next up, the Clever Girl. One of my all-time favorites, D2, I was going to say stainless steel, D2 carbon steel. This is the Austin McLaughlin design, designed by a veteran. It's the folding version of this fixed blade. G10 handle scales. Full stainless steel liners. Deadbolt. This one held up to 585 pounds before it failed. 585 pounds. Super strong. Super strong. Next up. This is one of my new favorites. New favorite. Love it. This is M16 04DB. Kit Carson design. Sergeant Kit Carson. Flavio Kuma deadbolt and his ball bearing system with the Ken Onion assist. This is the perfect knife to put the deadbolt in. Awesome. Awesome. It's got 6061 aluminum scales with thick stainless steel liners, extra thick stainless steel liners. These are really thick. And these are slabs. These are like billet slabs of aluminum. This is a very strong knife. It's got their external blade stop, like Flavio uses on most of his knives. Excellent knife. And last but not least, M16 03DB. Built the same way. Alright, people. Well, that's about all for these. Let's call it a wrap. That was a long one. I know it was a long one. But that's part one. Part one. The next part will be part two. Will be the cold steel knives. Cold steel knives in my collection that I suggest would be great knives for soldiers, or people in uniform, or emergency medical technicians, what have you. Or self-defense. If you just want a really good tactical self-defense knife, you might want to check out that video. Peace out. Stiletto. Hope everybody's doing good out there. And my prayers and heart goes out to people in Ukraine. You guys are some of the bravest people I've ever seen in my lifetime. Ukrainians are badass. That's all I got to say. Peace out. Stiletto.